How do you grow your audience from zero on social media? Where do you start? What steps are you supposed to take? When I first started putting content out online, nobody cared. I'm not joking. I didn't go viral, I didn't get tons of views, nobody was commenting. Besides for my mom, it didn't seem like anybody noticed that I even was putting content out. But slowly but surely, over the past year, I have built an audience of people who are willing to listen to what I have to say, which is no small feat. Now I have a Facebook group with over 400 active members. I have an email list with a couple hundred subscribers. I have a YouTube channel with subscribers. On average, the videos that I post get a couple thousand views across all the different social media platforms. Now, I don't take that for granted, but I know that when I first started, it felt like the biggest hurdle was going from 0 people in my audience to just getting 1. Well, I've documented the entire process, everything that I did up until this point to build the audience that I have today. And in today's video, I'm gonna share them all with you. These are the 6 very practical tactics of how you can grow your audience from scratch on social media, the exact things I did, and how they helped me grow my audience. I'm Sivan Felder, and if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner who's ready to start creating videos for their brand, then hit subscribe, because every week I help you do exactly that. Also, it's nice to know that I'm not talking to myself. So the first thing that I did that I think had the biggest impact on growing my audience was I posted 1 video a week on social media. Now, this might sound easy, but it's a lot harder to do in reality. I posted a video even when I was sick, even when the audio broke and it sucked. I posted that video anyway. I posted videos even when my personal life was in turmoil and I didn't even know what I was doing with myself. I posted a video when I didn't feel like it and I didn't know what was happening with my business. I posted a video every single week. And the reason I think that this had the biggest impact on building my audience was because it helped people create an emotional connection with me pretty quickly. You know, I have people who stop me on the street or message me or just kind of reach out and say like, wow, thank you so much for your video. That was so helpful. You know, here's my video. What do you think? I have people who call and without ever having met me, want to hire me to do work for their company. And I think this is all because they saw my face every single week for a year. And maybe they only saw 1 video, maybe they saw 20 videos, but seeing somebody in person in video form can have the same effect almost as meeting them in person. Video can be incredibly powerful if used correctly. The reason that I promote it all the time is because that's what's helped me grow my brand and my audience. But again, out of all the tactics that I share with you today, this is number 1 and the one that I believe in the most. 1 video every single week. And now, if you don't know what kind of videos you should be creating for your audience, I've included in the description below my video topics guide, and it kind of walks you through the 8 different types of ways that you can come up with really valuable and relevant topics for your audience, so feel free to check that out. The second thing you need to do to build your online audience is actually go to in-person events. So I would troll Eventbrite and Meetup and basically go to every networking event where I knew people from my industry were gonna go to. If there was somebody that I really wanted to collaborate with or to connect with, I'd try to go to events that they were going to. So like, not really a stalker, but kind of a stalker. Make sure that you're really connecting with people in person, because while a picture or a video is worth 1,000 words, an in-person connection has a lifetime value that really can't be quantified. And I can go back and trace every in-person connection I made to being invited to speak at an event, to being referred a client, to finding more people who were excited to watch my videos. So you really have no idea the impact that just 1 in-person meeting can have. So make sure you get off your TwoHeads and go to meet people in person at events. Actually, the first workshop that I ever had, I did on my own, and I found a co-working space and messaged the community manager and asked if she'd be willing to have a free workshop there. She said, okay. I made a little video and kind of wrote up the details of what I was going to talk about in this workshop, sent it around to a couple people on social media, and 50 people came to the workshop. In comparison to 1,000 YouTube subscribers or 1 million Instagram followers, maybe that doesn't seem like such a big deal. But before then, I had 0 people. So now I had 50 email addresses. I had 50 people who had engaged with me in some way. And you really have to just think of it as a slow and steady race. The third thing that you can do to build your online audience is find 1 person who will listen and speak to them. When I was starting out creating videos, I knew that I wanted to create videos for entrepreneurs in the circle that I was in, but I didn't really know what problems they were having. I didn't know where they were stuck. I didn't even know what they wanted to hear about. So I reached out to a bunch of people and asked them if they were interested in meeting for coffee. And a bunch of them said yes. And then I used that as an opportunity to get to know them better personally and also in a business sense. I asked them a lot of questions, and before long I had a database full of different topics that I knew that they were struggling with that I could either solve or provide a solution for or make easier for them. And so I would create a video, post it online, and I would make sure to tag that person and say, hey, look, I made this video about that topic that you and I were talking about. And this had a really startling effect. That one person became really interested in my videos. They would share it, they would comment, and that one person had kind of a ripple effect. And before long, lots of people were paying attention. So just find 1 or 2 people who find value in what you do and figure out how you can answer their questions or provide value to them, and you'll see that it will have a really big exponential effect. Number 4, find people who believe in you and get them invested in your success. Now, I know this sounds like a really great theoretical, philosophical, motivational, whatever, but I'm going to tell you practically what this looks like. When you post your first piece of content, no one is going to care. So what you need to do is find people who care about you already in real life, who are rooting for your success, whether that's your mom, your brother, your best friend from high school, your husband, your wife, it doesn't matter. Somebody who truly believes in you and is rooting you on, and get them to be your biggest fan. They can share your content, they can comment, they can tell you what's working and what's not working. And having just one person rooting you on can be so powerful, not just for your motivation, but also that other people see, oh, I see somebody engaged, I'll check it out. And just having somebody who believes in you goes a really long way. When I started out, there were 4 or 5 women who were constantly engaging with my content. And those same 4 or 5 women are my biggest supporters today. They're cheering me on. Every time I do something, they're there. They come to my workshops, they share my videos. And that means so much to me, and I don't take that for granted. So little shout out to you guys. Thanks. So find those people and get them on board and get them to be your biggest supporters, actively supporting you and following you and engaging with you on social media. Number 5, meet people from different circles. I see entrepreneurs get stuck with this one all the time. If you want to grow an audience, or you want to expand your business, or if you want the status quo to change from what it is now, you need to break out of your comfort zone and the network that you're connected to and find people outside of that. So when I was starting, I had a bunch of female entrepreneurs and small business owners who I was very connected to in my local area. But I realized that if I wanted to expand past that, I needed to really go out of my comfort zone and meet other people. So I found people on Instagram and YouTube who seemed to have pretty impressive following, who were not in my local community. And I reached out and just said, hey, could I interview you? Could we meet up? One of the people I did this with was Ron Siegel. You can check out the video that we did with him here. And this was when I was just starting out, and I basically just DM'd him on Instagram and said, hey, I really love your work, and I'm really impressed by the fact that you've managed to get 60,000 YouTube subscribers and a lot of Instagram followers. And I'd love to just interview you and ask you questions about the content that you put out, because it's really valuable and I think I could learn a lot from you. And lo and behold, he said yes. So I met him at his workspace and we filmed this video, and it was really exciting to be outside of the small demographic that I had. Now, this didn't suddenly make me like a viral Instagrammer, but it did show me that I had the power to connect with people outside of my network. Slowly but surely, I met more people in that circle. And before long, I was getting referrals from them or being invited to speak on podcasts from people who weren't in my network. So even just taking one small step outside of your comfort zone and reaching out to somebody who's not in your immediate network can go a long way to building your audience. And again, it's not about them sharing your content. It's not about them introducing you to their audience. It's really about you connecting to that one person that can go a long way to establishing your brand and your audience on social media. And last but not least, number 6, be consistent. I can't stress this enough. If you're gonna post one video or one blog post or one picture on Instagram and think that it's suddenly gonna skyrocket you into success, you are wrong. Audiences take time to build, and people need to know that they can trust you before they're gonna put their trust in you. And the way that you can build people's trust is by being consistent. When I started out, I was posting almost every single day a different type of content. I would post a blog post, an infographic, a video. Before long, I saw, first of all, I was totally being burnt out and it was way too much time on my part, and also that people weren't as excited about those pieces of content. They really just liked the video. So I committed to consistently once a week on a specific day, post a video. And come hell or high water, I do that. And that consistency really established a trust with the people who were in my immediate circle and helped me build my audience faster because I was consistent. So again, these 6 things might not seem earth-shattering, and they might not even seem like, well, why would that suddenly help me build an audience? But I promise you, all of these things when you get started have a huge impact, because when you're going from 0 to 1, that's the hardest part. Going from 1 audience member to 1,000 is actually a lot easier than going from 0 to 1. So let me know in the comments below which one you're going to do to start building your audience. If you want to be notified the next time I post a video, because we post pretty good videos, hit subscribe. If you want to keep learning how to master this whole video thing, be sure to watch this video next.